What if I told you that for over 1,000 years, the most important part of this dish, the rice, was considered garbage? And that this icon of Japanese culture, a symbol of refinement and simplicity, didn't actually begin in Japan at all? Sushi. It's more than just food. It's a global phenomenon, an art form, a multi-billion-dollar industry. But behind every perfectly formed piece of nigiri lies a forgotten history, a 2,000-year-old story of survival, ingenuity, and transformation. A story that begins not with pristine ocean waves, but with the muddy, humid rice paddies of a river delta far from Japan. This is the origin story of sushi. Our story begins around the 4th century BCE, not on an island nation, but deep in the heart of Southeast Asia, along the fertile banks of the Mekong River. Here, ancient communities faced a timeless problem: how to make food last. The river provided an abundance of freshwater fish, but in the sweltering heat, it would spoil in a matter of hours. Their solution was ingenious, if not exactly appetizing by modern standards. They would salt the fish, gut it, and then pack it inside barrels filled with cooked rice. The barrels were sealed and left to ferment for months, sometimes even years. Have you ever wondered what this process actually does? The rice isn't there for flavor. As it ferments, it produces lactic acid. This acid creates a hostile, pickled environment where the bacteria that cause rot can't survive. It was, in essence, a form of natural refrigeration. When the time came to eat, they would pry open the barrel, pull out the preserved fish, and throw the rice away. It had served its purpose. This ancient dish was called nare-zushi, which translates to aged sushi or fermented fish. And this was the one and only role of rice, to be a disposable preservative. This technique of preserving fish slowly spread across Asia. By the 8th century, during Japan's Nara period, it finally arrived on Japanese shores, likely through trade with China. The Japanese aristocracy adopted nare-zushi, but it was a far cry from the sushi we know. It was a luxury item, prized for its rarity and its intensely sour, pungent, cheesy flavor profile, closer to a very strong blue cheese than a delicate piece of fish. In fact, historical documents show that for a time, Japanese citizens could even pay their taxes to the imperial court using barrels of this prized stinky fish. Can you imagine that today? Amazingly, you can still taste this ancient ancestor of sushi. Near Lake Biwa in Japan, a delicacy called funazushi is still made using the exact same 1,000-year-old method. Carried on by families for generations, it's a direct culinary link to the past. Those who've tried it describe the taste as an overwhelming combination of sour, salty, and umami. It's a powerful reminder that the story of our food is often a story of acquired tastes. For nearly 1,000 years in Japan, sushi remained nare-zushi. The rice was discarded, the fish was fermented, and the process took forever. But as Japan entered a period of civil stability and cultural flourishing, people started to get impatient. Why does this matter to us today? Because this impatience sparked a revolution. During the Muromachi period, chefs began experimenting. They started adding more salt and later heavy stones on top of the fermentation barrels to press out moisture and speed up the process. Instead of waiting a year, they could now produce a batch in a matter of months, then a few weeks. This new, faster version was called nama nare-zushi, or raw-aged sushi. And with this, something fundamental changed. Because the rice had fermented for a much shorter time, it was still edible. It was sour, yes, but it retained its texture. For the first time ever, people began to eat the fish with the rice. The preservative was becoming part of the meal. This set the stage for the single most important innovation in the history of sushi. Around the 17th century, during the peaceful and prosperous Edo period, a brilliant idea emerged. Why wait weeks for fermentation to make the rice sour when you could achieve a similar taste instantly? Chefs began adding rice vinegar directly to the cooked rice, along with some salt and sugar for balance. This mimicked the tangy flavor of the fermented original, but cut the preparation time from weeks to mere minutes. This was called hayazushi, or fast sushi. The rice was no longer a preservative. It was a core component, intentionally flavored to complement the fish. The modern sushi rice we call shari was born. The invention of vinegared rice changed everything. But it was in the new capital city of Edo, a bustling, crowded, and energetic metropolis we now call Tokyo, that sushi would transform from a rustic dish into a cultural icon. By the early 19th century, Edo was one of the largest cities in the world. Its streets were packed with over 1 million people. These were busy people, craftsmen, merchants, construction workers building the new capital. They didn't have time for long, formal meals. They needed something quick, delicious, and convenient. Edo was a city that demanded fast food. Enter a man named Hanaya Yohei. Around the 1820s, Yohei, a clever and innovative food stall owner, had a groundbreaking idea. The Bay of Edo teemed with fresh seafood. The new vinegared rice was ready in an instant. Why not combine them in the simplest way possible? He took a slice of fresh, lightly cured fish, placed it atop a small, hand-pressed mound of vinegared rice, and served it. It was meant to be eaten with your hands in just 1 or 2 bites. He called it Nigiri-zushi, hand-pressed sushi. This was revolutionary. No fermentation, no waiting. It was the perfect street food for the fast-paced life of the city. Yohei's stall was a massive success, and soon hundreds of other nigiri-zushi stalls popped up all over Edo. This was the direct ancestor of the sushi we know and love today. But this early nigiri wasn't exactly like what we eat now. There was no refrigeration, so the fish, while fresh from the bay, which is what edomai, or in front of Edo, means, had to be lightly preserved. Chefs would marinate it in soy sauce, cure it in salt and vinegar, or simmer it in a savory broth. Wasabi wasn't just for flavor either. Its natural antibacterial properties made eating raw fish a little safer. Each piece was a testament to the chef's skill in enhancing and preserving the day's catch. For a century, nigiri-zushi remained largely a Tokyo specialty, a local fast food. So how did it conquer Japan and then the world? The answer, tragically, lies in a natural disaster. In 1923, a catastrophic earthquake devastated Tokyo and the surrounding Kanto region. In the aftermath, many people were left homeless and jobless, including thousands of sushi chefs. These displaced chefs spread out across Japan, taking their edomai-style nigiri skills with them. For the first time, people in Osaka, Kyoto, and beyond were introduced to this Tokyo delicacy. The tragedy inadvertently turned a regional food into a national one. The next great leap came after World War II. The widespread adoption of modern refrigeration and advanced transportation changed everything. Suddenly, fish could be kept fresh for days. Seafood from the northern island of Hokkaido could be served in Tokyo the next morning. This technological boom had a profound impact on sushi. Chefs no longer had to cure or marinate every piece of fish. They could now showcase the pure, unadulterated flavor of truly raw, fresh seafood. This is when fatty tuna, toro, and other delicate toppings became staples of the sushi bar. Sushi moved from being a street food to a delicacy served in clean, refrigerated indoor restaurants. By the 1960s, sushi was a beloved part of Japanese cuisine. But to the rest of the world, it was still an exotic, intimidating concept. Raw fish? Seaweed? For many Western palates, it was a bridge too far. The story of how sushi conquered the globe starts, improbably, in Los Angeles. In the late 1960s and early 70s, a Japanese chef in LA's Little Tokyo was trying to find a way to make sushi more appealing to his American customers. He noticed they weren't fond of the chewy texture of mori, seaweed, and were hesitant about raw fish, especially tuna. So he improvised. He replaced the raw tuna with cooked crab meat. He added creamy avocado, a familiar local ingredient. And here's the genius move. He hid the seaweed by making an inside-out roll with the rice on the outside. He called it the California roll. It was an instant hit. This single, clever adaptation served as a gateway for millions of people. It was the perfect introduction. Familiar flavors, no raw fish, and the scary seaweed tucked away. From the California roll, people grew more adventurous, trying other rolls, and eventually the classic nigiri. At the same time, another innovation back in Japan was making sushi more accessible than ever. In 1958, a restaurateur named Yoshiaki Shiraishi, inspired by a beer bottling assembly line, invented the conveyor belt sushi restaurant, or kaiten-zushi. This made sushi cheap, fast, and unintimidating. There was no need to know the Japanese names for fish. You could just see what you liked and grab it. This model democratized sushi, transforming it from a formal, sit-down meal into a fun, casual dining experience for the whole family. Is it really as simple as it seems? This invention was just as important as the California roll in making sushi a global food. From a preservation method in ancient rice paddies to a fast food staple on the streets of Tokyo, and from a gateway roll in California to a global phenomenon, sushi's journey has been incredible. But it has also circled back, becoming one of the world's most revered culinary art forms. Today, at the highest level, sushi is a philosophy. It embodies the Japanese aesthetic of shokunin, the artisan spirit, the relentless pursuit of perfection in one's craft. Chefs train for decades to master the fundamentals, how to select the absolute best fish from the market, how to cook and season the rice to the perfect temperature and texture, how to slice the fish with surgical precision. An omakase meal, where you entrust the entire menu to the chef, is an intimate dialogue. It's a performance where every single element, the temperature of the rice, the freshness of the fish, the hint of wasabi, the brush of soy sauce, is calibrated to create a single, perfect bite. It's the ultimate expression of simplicity, where there is nothing to hide behind. It is the food, the rice, and the artist. So the next time you sit down for sushi, take a moment to look closer. That small piece of food on your plate is not just a meal, it's a time capsule. It holds the story of ancient survival in the Mekong Delta, It carries the ingenuity of Edo period chefs who turned a preservation method into fast food. It reflects the technological boom of the 20th century and the cultural fusion of a globalized world. From a stinky, fermented fish where the rice was thrown away, to a perfectly balanced bite that can cost hundreds of dollars, the journey of sushi is a testament to human creativity. It's a story that is still being written, one delicious piece at a time. The story of sushi reminds us that the foods we love often have the most unexpected and incredible histories. They are a map of human migration, innovation, and our amazing ability to transform the world around us. What's your favorite type of sushi, and did its origin surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. We love reading your stories and perspectives. This is just one of the countless origin stories we love to explore here on our channel. If you enjoyed this journey through time, a simple click on the like button really helps us out. And if you subscribe and turn on notifications, you won't miss our next deep dive into the things that shape our world. Thanks for watching Origin Stories. See you next time.